Hello, here is your guided PowerPoint for our introduction to psychology. So this is task number 1 for the week. So I'm excited to start a new unit. Psychology is one of my favorite units. So remember when we talked at the very beginning of the year when we brainstormed what is anthropology, psychology, sociology. Psychology is the study of the mind, the individual. We are going to be doing a few schools of thought in psychology, and we're going to start with psychodynamic theory. So here's just an introduction, another definition for you. The scientific study of the mind and behavior, and that's an American Psychological Association definition. A multifaceted discipline includes subfields such as human development, sports psychology, you may have heard of, then the healthcare system, clinical psychology. So that's the kind of typical, what you think of a therapist is called clinical psychology, social behavior, and cognitive processes. So psychologists also work with actual brain functioning too, which we will talk about in another unit. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction of the types of the schools of thought of psychology. So the first one that we're going to start to look at this week is the psychodynamic perspective. So that focuses on the unconscious mind. So things that we don't necessarily know we're thinking. And psychodynamic therapists and theorists believe that we repress or push down many of our feelings and are not totally aware of them. And in order to get better, we must bring forward these feelings that we have in our unconscious. And how is that done? It's done a few ways. It's done through therapy. Hypnosis is one of the tools that psychodynamic therapists use also. So that's pretty interesting. So really based on the fact that we have a lot going on under the surface that you can't see. And once those things are brought to the surface, healed, then that's the only way we can heal. The next is a behavioral perspective, which we will look at, I think, next week, which looks at observable behaviors while putting feelings to the side. Okay, so these are things that we can look at. These are objective, not subjective behaviors. We behave in certain ways because we've been conditioned to do so. We've been taught to do so. And also to change behaviors, you have to recondition the client. So the behavioral perspective doesn't really care about inner feelings, about what happened in your past. It's all about observable behaviors, and we can train people out of their behaviors. And the next one is the humanist perspective. This is a very 60s and 70s kind of theory, spirituality, free will, striving to be the best we can be, which is called self-actualization, and happiness, looking at happiness and how we define happiness. So this would be more for kind of healthy, in quotations, healthy individuals, and not for people who are mentally ill. So this is kind of striving to become better. How do we become better people? And the last one we're going to look at is the cognitive perspective. So this is actual brain science. This is memory, perception. Why do we see what we see? And changing the way we think. Okay, so I'd like you to watch this video, which is a little intro video. And then there is a sheet that we're all going to share. So I'd like you to write down one new something you learned, something you've never heard before, a person, a theorist, a concept, a definition, and also put the definition of that if that makes sense. Okay, and we are done for now. See you on the next PowerPoint.